Hello, everyone, and welcome to our May Make-Along. I know it's June, but we're going to be featuring the May kit. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Pop over to the comments here. Welcome, everyone. I see you guys are here queuing up. That's awesome. Hello, Misty. Hello, Carol. Hello, Barbara, Beth. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to create actually two cards. One card that features products from the May My Monthly Hero Classic kit, this card right here. This one's a nice, easy one with some simple Copic coloring and a fun way to use some of the images in that set, get a slightly different look. And then we'll also be creating this card here featuring the premium kit, elements from the premium kit. So two cards. I'd like to try to make sure if you just got the classic kit, you at least can participate along with the make-alongs. And I also wanted to point out that at the end of this live, we are going to be featuring, I'm going to share with you the new Hero Studio June release, which comes out tomorrow. The Hero Studio is replacing, or it's kind of a reimagined, new and exciting subscription program that's replacing the My Monthly Hero, and it just is going to come out tomorrow. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to share with you all the options with it. That's what's really great about the new Hero Studio program, is there's so many options, and I really like the theme of this release. Will you continue doing monthly lives? Yes, I will continue doing live, Sandra. Yep. And we'll be featuring the monthly card kit. So there'll still be a card kit like the My Monthly Hero kit. It's just, will just be one, and it'll be like the premium My Monthly Hero kit. And I think you guys are really gonna like it. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and change my cameras here. Let's see here. I always have to remember how to do it. Here we go, we're gonna switch around. There we go. Oh, look at my Misty, looks so dirty. Sorry. All right. Because I'm making two cards a day and I want to be efficient with the time, I am going to bounce around a little bit between card 1 and card 2, but we're actually going to start with the card featuring the classic kit, where really obviously this stamp set, this floral cake stamp set, is in both the classic and the premium kit, but for this card here, all you will need is the classic kit to create it. So we're going to start with this one. You're going to need some white cardstock. I'm going to use Dub White. I'm going to Copic color on it. So whatever cardstock, whatever white cardstock you like to use to Copic color or color with your alcohol markers is what you should grab. I have this scrap here, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to pop it into my Misty. And I'm going to grab the May My Monthly Hero kit and pull out that floral cake stamp set with the coordinating dies. All right, maybe 2 lives, one creating with the other subscription. Yeah, maybe Vicky, that one we haven't quite worked that all out yet, but there is so much. I mean, I'm really excited about these releases because there are so much more products. So there's so much more fun to like mix things together and more possibilities. So yeah. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, that one I stumbled upon that playing. You know how when you play around after you've colored things and trying to arrange your die cuts, and I was like, oh look, this looks like the cake's open, and I thought that was so cool how that looked. All right, I'm going to grab the large floral cake. Place that down. The cake slice as well. I'm going to grab that. Let's see, can we squeeze it here? I'm always trying to make the most. Now we're going to end up cutting off that candle, so you could actually, I could actually have this off the page like that, but I'm going to just include it. Really good, no good reason, unless I can't fit them all. There we go. I think we got it. We'll just stick it down here. I don't want to have to stamp it again. And then we're going to need some candles. I picked out all the stripy ones, 3 of them. whatever candles you like. Position those down. It is hot. We just came back from a trip to California. I was in a sweater there most of the time, and we're back in Arizona, and it's incredibly hot. In fact, I even got like, I don't very often get migraines, but I had an optical migraine when I came back. I think it was just because it's so bright and so hot. We're also going to need that strawberry. Yeah, there's going to be tons more inspiration, Vicki. I'm actually working on the videos. As soon as this live is over, I'm going to go and try to finish up the videos. They're taking me a little bit longer than I expected because there are so many new products, and I'm trying to show, you know, how you can use them. May gray now, June gloom in California. See, that's Elizabeth. That is what I'm learning. So Hero Arts is obviously based in California and in Richmond, near San Francisco, if you're not familiar. And they were all telling me, everybody from Hero Arts is telling me like, oh, this is not a really nice time of year, which is so, like, I don't get it. Isn't California always nice? But right now, what are we looking at? 95. Right now, it's 95 in Arizona, and it is hot. It is hot. All right, I'm going to ink these up with the black ink. Hello, Essie, hello. This is Hero Arts INTENS-ified Black. This is a alcohol marker friendly ink, so that's what I'm going to use. I think I got all my images. Yeah. Strawberry, 3 candles, cake slice, and cake. I didn't do the cake stand, but you could. I think I need to move my magnet once again. Grab my scrubber. Usually sun comes out in the afternoon. That's what it was like, Elizabeth. We were in, we just vacationed near, where were we? Long Beach, just to get to the beach. Oops, I gotta do that again. And it was cloudy, overcast in the morning, and then nice and sunny towards the afternoon. But still, definitely not hot. Arizona is like, it's hot, it's sunny and hot pretty much the entire time. There's very rarely any overcast. And only towards the end of summer will we start to get like monsoons. But right now it's basically going to be completely, totally sunny for the next 2.5 months. You know what? I don't like the way that's stamped. I might flip this over and stamp it again. I just think that did not stamp very good. See, even every once in a while. Wait till July. Oh, no. But I am born and raised here in Arizona, so I am very used to it being hot. It's still, oh, I have strawberry, has to move. It's still never fun. We're gonna put him here. I was telling some people who aren't familiar with Arizona, they were kind of like, well, you know, you have a pool, right? And I'm like, yes, pool helps a lot, definitely. But at one point, the pool water is so hot, I mean like 80 degrees, that it's not very refreshing anymore. Middle Georgia is, too hot and very humid. Yes, that's one thing we don't have is humidity, which that I am grateful for, because I know that can make things kind of feel even worse. But it is like an oven. Go outside, definitely. Comparing it to an oven is definitely a very good comparison. But yes, the water can get so hot around, I'd say late July, early August. The water's pretty warm and stops being super refreshing. So you go into the pool and get out. So you have that evaporative cooling. This is stamping a lot better. I like that better. West Sacramento, awesome. Oh, Laura's from Tucson. You're not far from me. 96. So you're hotter. Tucson isn't usually too different from Oops, Phoenix, I bumped my camera. All right, I think that's finally done. All right, I'm going to set this aside to dry. The only thing about the INTENS-ified black ink, it's really beautiful, nice and dark, but it does need to dry a bit. You just came back from Anaheim. I was just over there. We were just over in Anaheim too. It was perfect. Ooh, 105. Oh no. Libby! Oh gosh, on the big screen. I don't know about that. I know some people watched it on the big screen and I'm always like, oh my. I mean, how does it look on the big screen? That's what I'm always worried about. Does it look okay? Does it look bad? All right, I'm gonna quickly clean my stamps and I'm gonna put them away. Okay, so that INTENS-ified black ink, I think I started saying it but didn't finish, is that it needs some time to dry before you start coloring with your alcohol marker. So while that's drying, we're gonna jump over to the card number 2 and stamp that and get kind of that going so that can dry. Because again, I said we are bouncing around a little bit. Hopefully that's not too confusing, but it just is more efficient use of our time. Kind of let things dry while we're doing something else. So I put my stamps back. All right. Ooh, you have a graduation. Oh no, those are outside too, right? Terrible. Well, I hope you can stay cool. Has anybody ever used those fans? We got one when we went to Disney World or when I was pregnant 100 years ago. We got one of those fans. Oh, but you know what? Now they have these ones that go around your neck that are like fans, but they're like air conditioners too. I think if I was going to go to Disneyland in the summer, or Disney World, which I would not recommend because it's so hot, but if you're going to do that, I would recommend one of those air conditioning fans. They look like they work well. All right, I'm going to grab a watercolor panel. So we're bouncing over to card 2, which just a quick reminder is this one. And we're going to stamp and heat emboss those balloons. That's what we're going to do now real quick while our stamped images dry. So put that over here. So I have an A2 panel of watercolor paper. I just cut one of the watercolor sheets that came with the kit. And it came with the class again, the premium, down in half. Oh, I have a neck fan. Oh, there you go. For my beekeeper. Oh, you're a beekeeper? That's awesome. My sister did that for a little while. It's still sweltering. Oh, okay. Oh, plastic. Yeah, geez. Cooking towels, battery operated vent. Nice. Hand fans. Yes, umbrellas. You sound prepared. Brenna, you sound like you know what to do in the heat. All right, I'm going to take the foam out since the background stamp is a cling. So I need to get my Misty ready for that. And then, of course, I forgot to get the cling out. Let's grab that too. Here we go. All right. Because I don't like to waste paper, we're going to place a little bit of tape on the back side of our panel. Double-sided tape, I should say. I apologize for touching the camera, bumping the camera. So we'll do this. This way I don't have to, I can stamp on my panel from edge to edge, because you can't have it nestled in the corner of your Misty because you won't get the stamp to be able to stamp edge to edge of your paper. So that there's a little bit of border on the, so I'm holding the two together, have my panel lined up with the cling. I've got my tape sticky side up, and then I will put this over, place it down. Probably should have removed the backing first. There we go, we'll pick it up. Hopefully we're lined up pretty good still. I think we're close enough. I'm gonna try that one more time, just because I'm worried it shifted when I removed the backing. Okay, we'll try it one more time. I don't want to stamp it and have it not work. And there's other ways to do it. This is just, there's lots of ways to do this to line up your panel to your cling stamp. This is kind of my lazy man's way. But I do have to be smooth. All right, there we go. I think we got it now. We're gonna hope that for the best. All right, so now I'm going to stamp this, ink this up. I want to heat emboss this. So first I'm gonna add some anti-static powder. And I'm actually gonna ink this up in, this is something I learned from Mindy and I love it. Since I'm gonna do heat embossing and I'm doing heat embossing with white, I'm gonna use Hero Arts Unicorn Pigment ink. Oh, that would work, Misty. Put cling, she says, put cling on clear door, lay paper. Oh yeah, that would have been smarter, wouldn't it? Done it backwards. That would have made it smarter. I should have done that. I think we got it this time. But I really like using the Unicorn Pigment ink basically in place of embossing and watermark ink. I feel like my heat embossing is crisper and whiter, so I'm really enjoying that. And let's see, where's my scrubber? It's so good, Sherry, isn't it? It's the best. How do we do? Okay. And I'm gonna stamp this a couple of times just to make sure I've got plenty of that ink on there. So my embossing powder sticks. And it is impossible to see, so you're really hoping for the best here. I really press, and I'll do one more time. I'm seeing it. Me too, Essie. I love it. I agree 100%. Essie says she loves Hero Arts watercolor paper. Me too. I hoard it too. That's why you see me stamping on an A2 panel, not like, it'd be obviously much easier to stamp on one of the big half sheets, but I hoard my watercolor paper as well because I love it so much. It's so white and your colors come out so intense on it. I'm gonna do one more time. I'm just so scared. I just don't want to have to do it again. I don't want to mess up my watercolor paper. Okay, so this is I think the fourth time. Of course, you could just use embossing watermark ink if you have that instead, but this has become my new preferred way to heat emboss, especially if I'm doing white. I've even done it with gold embossing powder, but white is obviously the best. Okay, I'm gonna grab my tweezers to help myself pull this off. All right. Grab my white embossing powder. And we're gonna dip it in. Now I do have that sticky back here, so it might get a little embossing powder on the back. Oh well, it's not that big of a deal. Just heat set it and move on. Don't even bother wiping it off. It's not gonna bother anything if you get a little bit of embossing powder back there. But I managed to get none, so maybe you get none too. All right, that looks really good. I can see a lot of my powder stuck to everything. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Ruth. Awesome. All right, so I'm now going to heat set this, so it's going to be a little noisy. I have a million wires. I am. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm like in a web. Okay, I think that's all heat set. Do you guys drop your embossing tools all the time? Maybe it's just where I have my embossing tool, but I drop it all the time. If I don't drop it once a day, I don't know if I crafted, to be honest. And I try so hard. I hate dropping it because I'm always afraid it's going to, I'm going to drop it one too many times and it's going to break. Oh, you found us. So good. Oh, I know those notifications, but I've heard sometimes the notifications don't even work. So that's annoying. All right. So that's all heat set. Now the fun part. So we are going to go right to the sprays because that way when we get that done, this can set to dry while we do our coloring. I drop everything. Such a messy craft. I'm so messy too. So messy. I try so hard to be clean, but it just is inevitable. I think it's just a sign that you're deep in the creative process, right? Too busy to care about. Too busy creating to care about clean. So these are the colors I'm using. Ocean Blue Gold, which is a two-tone metallic spray, which just means that the metallic powder that's in this is not the same tone as the ink. And then we have Bright Yellow and Copper, also the two-tone. Royal Purple Gold, two-tone metallic spray. And then here is a tone-on-tone. This is Red and Shimmer. So these are the colors I'm using. You could really use any color, but I'm basically kind of creating a rainbow. Oh, Misty, she says she bought a silicone curling iron holder that has a flap. I've seen those. I drop my heat tool even when it's hot in there. That's nice. I probably should get that. Exactly, Beth. Sometimes I don't know why I bother cleaning as well. But I honestly can't craft if I can't move on to a new project until I've cleaned up after the last project. So that does make me sound incredibly organized. Please don't let that fool you. I am not clean. I am not organized, but I do have to do that just to kind of clear my mind. All right, with our sprays, something important to remember. Libby taught me this. You cannot shake up and down. You got to make sure you shake left and right. So not this. Don't do this. That's going to clog your nozzle. So if you shake left and right, you're less likely to clog it because you have all that powder. You can probably see it down here at the bottom. All that powder in there that can go at that nozzle and kind of clog it. But if you do get it clogged, you can unclog it. The best way is to unscrew this part here. Oops, it's going to be all juicy because I cleaned it before the live. Just wanted to make sure everything was working properly. You just want to take the nozzle off. Ooh, he's so juicy. Okay, let's move that out of there. Normally it's not that way. It's just because I ran these under the sink real quick. I don't know why I did that, but because I was being lazy and wanted to clean the top part real quick after I sprayed it. But anyways, you take off this part, just set it in some warm water, like a bowl of warm water, and then come back to it and it will be unclogged, like about 10, 15 minutes. I've done it. I've had some clog and I've done that and it worked beautifully. Okay. Now, so we're going to spray each one of these corners with one of these colors. Let's start with the blue. I think I got some on here already. Shaking it up again, mixing that powder. And it's going to get a little messy. Exactly, Beth. The only reason I clean is also to craft. I agree. That's the only reason why I'm cleaning is so I can make a mess again. And look at me. I'm going to be very inky. I can just tell. All right, we're going to spray the corner. So pretty. And this is that powder is going to bloom. I also like to take my chamois and just kind of wipe it off the little part there, and that's it. Next is oh, I'm doing this different than I did the original. Oh, well. We'll do purple. I'll be a little different. Again, shaking side to side. And we'll spray. This purple is intense, but she's so pretty. Where's my chamois? Clean that off. Oh my gosh, can you already see how beautiful it's looking? Oh, so pretty. I like to turn the corner, then I'm going to spray towards my right hand. That's why I'm keep adjusting this, because that's just easier for me to get a good, have more control. Obviously, I don't have a ton of control over this, but you can at least get a corner of the color you want it to be. So pretty. Oh my gosh. These colors are gorgeous. All right, just cleaning a little bit before I put the lid back on. And last is our bright yellow copper. Exactly. Yes, arting. We are arting it up for sure. I definitely feel like I really, when I have ink on my hands, I definitely feel like I did something. I did something more than just like craft it. It feels like I went up to my game a little bit. Did some like a technique or mixed media. Just feels like I took my card making to another level. I think that's all we have to do there. Look at how it looks. Oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. Wow. We're getting colors mixing. We're going to get more blooms of the metallic powder that's inside. Once it dries, you'll see that more. You could kind of clean up wherever it might be pulling a little bit. Usually I just leave it alone. I really kind of just like to let it do its thing. Especially since I'm not getting like mud, I don't think I need to come in here and do any messing to it. It seems nice. All right, so I'm gonna move this aside. And if you had a spray box, that would work well too, but I just find that a little nice and neat, but a little cumbersome, especially when we are doing lives to kind of get that box out. So I'm trying to figure out where I should put this. I'll put it behind me over here. All right, so now we will move on to, we'll go back to card one. This should be dry and we should be ready to color. All right. So I'm gonna grab the original here. That's just easier. What's this color? No, good, just water. And we will grab, let's start with the biggest area, which is like the main frosting area of the cake. And I'm going to use Y00 and Y11. Y00 is my light. The 11 is the dark. I actually start with the dark. And just color up to the edge. Good, and our ink is nice and dry. Sometimes I test it before I just start coloring, but today I just went for it. All right, and then we will blend it out with Y00. It really is Essie, isn't it so pretty? Oops, I noticed I just missed a spot over here. A couple spots. It's really pretty. Kind of blend it out to be almost the white of the paper towards the center. Actually, it is. I'm not going to color really the very center, because this Y00 is very light. Cute. She's cute. I'm going to go around a little bit more with the Y11 just to kind of darken it up a bit. Maybe a little more dramatic along the edges. We like drama on our cards, that is. Real life drama, no, go away. But on our cards, yes, all the drama, please. We want card drama. Okay, so now let's move on to, let's do the top frosting. There's a little bit of frosting peeking out of the top. And we also use that color combo for some pink flowers, which is here. So you can see this flower here and this frosting. Oh, you know what? I forgot I should color this cake too. Hold up. Reverse. Let's grab our yellows again and color this cake. And I did color the top of this cake frosting yellow. Probably doesn't make sense, but that's what I did and nobody noticed, so we're gonna stick with it. Probably should have been pink. No worries, Heather. We're glad you're here. All right, because today might be a long one. Sorry, 2 cards do take some time, and I'm doing showing you guys the Hero Studio after this, the new June Hero Studio. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to that pink. We're gonna grab R20, and I have my notes over here, so I can keep it straight. R20 and R22. R20 is our light. I'm gonna start with that. Just start coloring kind of the base of that frosting. And I am not the world's best Copic color, so I'm just trying to get it colored. But I hope that gives you some, I'm gonna color my flower too, some confidence that you don't have to be the best color and still color images and still enjoy coloring images. I get by. All right, now we're on R22. This is the darker shade. I'm gonna add a shadow at the bottom edge. Well, it's not really, we're creating the look of a gradation or some shape with that darker color at the bottom edge of the frosting. And then we'll move on to our flower and take that R22 and color from the flower center out. Cute. And if you feel like you need to, you can go back to R20 and blend it out a little. But these images are so small that you shouldn't really need to do much like blending for your gradations. Now I'll hold this up so you can kind of see how we're doing so far. She's looking very pretty. All right, and we're gonna color this little flower pink as well. So same color combo. I don't know if I wrote it in my instructions, but for the centers of these 2 pink flowers, we're going to grab R5, just color the centers in. Kind of like a red orange. Actually, it's very similar to my nails. Really, really pretty color. Thank you, Ruth. Just noticed I had some white spots and I didn't like. All right, now let's move on to our red flowers. We'll grab R22 and R17. And we're going to do these like kind of roses in that red combo. So these 2 flowers down here, which you see over here. Quickly color with R22. And I'm going to add a little, this is so small, I'm just trying to add a little bit of that darker, that R17 to some of the petals, just to add a little. I don't want to completely color the petal. Just kind of here and there, it adds a little bit more interest. So either to the sides of the petal, if I can get like the bottom arc, it's gonna be hard to show. Let's see if I can do it here. Like the sides of this petal here. A little bit there on the side. There we go, on the sides. Color the center. It's not perfect, but it's so tiny, and we just want to add a little bit of that other color. It'll make our flower look like it has more depth, more interest. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Hello, Rosie. Long time no see. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I think these centers need to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to take that 17 and color the centers. These two flowers. There we go. The pink flowers. All right, we're moving along. What's up next? Next, we're going to do the orange flowers. We have a light orange and a dark orange. Let's start with the Let's start with the dark orange flowers. So that's going to be YR07, R05. So R05. YR07, and for the centers, we'll use R22. So these are our next colors. And we are going to color, so the dark flowers are, well, really there's one. There's one dark flower. It's that guy right there. He's all by his lonesome. I'm going to start with the YR07, which is actually our lighter between the two. Color the whole petal. Then move on to R05 and just add it at the base of the petals where the petal would meet the flower center. It's very subtle, very light, not much contrast on that one. And then we'll take R22 and color in the center. Cute. All right, moving on. Let's do our lighter orange. There's a lot more of those. So we need YR4. Again, we're going to use YR7 and R05 for the centers. So I'm going to grab these flowers here and start coloring them. So any of the other flowers now that are orange are colored with this combo. So we have three. This guy here, this big one, this one here. Thank you, Patty. I wanted to do something a little different, but not completely different. I feel like still a yellow, orange, pink cake is somewhat expected. But I really like yellow and orange palettes. Okay, take my YR07 and go out from the center. And for the very center, we'll use our, I think we have to go up a shade. We're gonna go rogue here a little, and we're gonna go R27. Do a little red in the center. Pick up a little bit of that color with the R05. Okay, so this one actually has a double like center. So we're gonna move on to Y15 for that. And I think in my instructions I wrote YR15, so I apologize. I noticed that when I was getting my colors today. But yeah. It's Y15. I don't even know if there is a YR15. All right, we're doing great. Let's move on to, let's go down the list. Let's do yellow flowers. Y08, we're gonna need that 15 again. Y15 and YR7, which is our orange for our centers. All right, so let's start our yellow. Looked like my camera was bouncing for a second. My cat is snoring though. I can hear her off over onto the side, but I don't think you guys can hear her. And this one, oh, we have the most flowers are yellow. Oh, I love the yellow flowers. They're so pretty. And she's yellow too. Oh my gosh, they're all yellow. So cute. All right, we'll take Y15. And color the center a little bit. Just a slight bit darker. Cute. Oh, she's not. Where is she though? I hear her snoring, but I don't see her. I have her chair covered up. That's where she normally likes to sit, but I covered it up so she can't sit there. I didn't mean to, but I put all my stuff on there. It's kind of crazy over here. I'm not sure if I did all of the petals. Go one more time around with that Y15. All right, and then for the center, that orange. Love it, lots of contrast. I think for that one, since it's so big, I'm gonna grab my lighter orange too. So I get a little bit more shape. All right, we are on home stretch. What else do we have to color? And I'm going to take this yellow, actually, Y15, and lighten up the orange petals. Just color the tips to kind of soften them a little. They look a little dark. I do think I am shaking. How am I shaking the camera? That makes no sense to me. It's not on the table. Okay, strawberries. Strawberries are R22, R17, R27. Now it's going to bother me that I don't know where my cat is. When we went on our trip or vacation, she didn't lay where she normally sleeps, which is, oh, we got the strawberry over here too. On the couch, just on the couch. She was in my crafting chair. So now my crafting chair is covered in kitty fur, which means I'm now covered in kitty fur. I am shaking the camera. I don't understand. Sorry, that's going to bother me. I don't understand why the camera seems to be shaking. It shouldn't be. Nothing's touching it. I'll grab a little of our red. Just punch it up a little bit more. Final shadow. So cute. All right. And now the leaves. 2 greens for that. G43 and YG63. That's what I think, Beth. I think she did want, I was thinking that too, which was like, oh, that's cute. She misses me. Poor kitty. And all the leaves get colored with this green. This is the light. The G43 is the light. And we'll even do the tops. I think I did the tops with the darker green, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that much. They're all going to look the same. And now we're going to take that YG63 and add it to the base of the leaf, so where the leaves would meet a stem. They don't always meet a stem, because like these leaves down here don't have a stem. Just a little bit of that green, that darker green at the base. It just makes this leaf have more shape. These ones I'm not going to really bother with. They're too small. Okay. Just had to do a tiny bit of cleanup because I was sloppy. Surprise, surprise. I got some red here on my petal. Go in with a little bit more. All right. I think that's pretty well done. That's pretty colored. So now we're going to move on to the candles. We still have the cake inside. We'll do that too in a minute. The candles are our light pink combo, which is R20 and R22. I'm just going to color the whole candle with that R20. And then we'll use R22 to color the stripes. Just do the best you can. I know it's teeny tiny, especially small, these vertical stripes, but just get a little bit of that color on there. All right. I think they look pretty good. Yeah. Let's color the flames. What did I grab? Y02. Oh, I didn't pull that out. Okay, let me grab that marker. Oh no, Beth, that'd be terrible. She might have been mad at me. She didn't leave me a gift of the chair, but she still might have been a little mad. A little mad that we left her. But she would hate to go on vacation with us. She does not like to be anywhere but inside her comfortable house. This is Y15. Darken that up. And I think I can go a little darker. We're going to grab our orange. Go a hair darker. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I know why. I know why it's shaking. Because the cord, I had to use my phone is dying, so I had to actually use a cord for my phone. Now I figured it out. Okay, so we're going to be mindful of that. All right, just quickly color this top because I forgot to color that. I want to call it a carrot. That's not a carrot. That was a strawberry, Shannon. Okay. Done. We don't need to color this candle. We're cutting it off. Now the inside of this cake, just 2 tans, really light tans for that. We have E30 and E31. So E30 is our light. We'll color all of the cake with that. And then we'll take our E31 and we're just going to make some spots. Little dots, some spots. Make it look more textured. It's just only a hair darker than that E30, so it's very subtle, but it does add a lot. And I'll hold it to the camera so you can see. Everything is now all Copic colored. So we are ready to cut these out. How is this? Is this gonna really shake things? Not too bad. Ironically. All right, so I'm gonna grab the coordinating dies. Get those all off. We need the cake slice, the candles, the strawberry, and that's it. We can only cut out one candle at a time, unfortunately, so we'll have to do that a couple of times. Grab some tape to hold everything down. I know some people actually like to die cut first and then color. It makes sense. I can see why, because then you're not coloring something that may have dropped the dye that you could actually die cut wrong. So you waste all that coloring. So you die cut first, and then you're only coloring ones that are for sure. But obviously, like little things like particularly this little strawberry and the candles would be a pain. I mean, there are sticky mats and things you could use, but it would be a little bit of a pain to try to keep in place. You could also use the negative to hold them in place. All right, run that through. How'd we do? Did everything cut all the way? I think so. One candle. Ah, ah, ah. Cake done. Cake slice looks great. Strawberry, yes, everything cut out wonderfully. Happy about that. Now we gotta cut these candles out of the rest of these candles. I was looking for the other candle. There's only one, Channin, remember? You said that. Okay. And one more candle. Oh, fingers. Okay, that one was trickier for some reason. I love that there's dies. Did I cut these out? That just makes it so much easier to arrange everything. I'm not one of those card makers. Oops, sorry, my hands. Oh, my purple tape doesn't peel my paper, Rosie, but my other tape that I like to use. Sorry about the camera. I've got my cord here, so I'm already bad where I talk with my hands and I bump my camera. But now I've got this cord here because my phone did not charge properly last night. And I didn't notice until, of course, just before the live. So I've got this power cord over here on the side. That's why I said I'm really tangled up. But no, my purple tape doesn't seem to, luckily it doesn't mess up my, but I think it's because my die cutting machine doesn't have a lot of pressure. I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers die cutting machine, which is good for just, not really good for intricate dies, but good for simple dies like this. And I don't have to worry about anything sticking because it doesn't push real hard. All right, now we are going to cut the candle off. But I do want to keep that kind of border that the die naturally creates. Oh, nice. Oh, you're going to make a money lay? That's awesome. I've always thought those were so cool. So I'm cutting that candle off, but I didn't go down to the cake because, again, I want to keep that border and go around the flower, continue around the flower. There we go. So, and we do have these little lines remaining from the candle, but I have an easy fix for that. It's the Crafters, what do we call that? Whiteout. A white gel pen. Yay! So all I'm going to do is color right over with the gel pen those two little marks. And my cat's going to be really noisy here for a couple seconds. Sorry. I don't know why she does this, but when she gets onto the couch, she has to like meow really loud for like 8 meows. I think she knows that I'm talking about her, so she's embarrassed, so she's not doing it. She started to. All right, so that's what it looks like after you color it with the white gel pen. You would never know that there was a candle there. Completely gone. And a flower, exactly. I'm gonna add what am I adding? A strawberry to it a little bit too. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more coloring with my gel pen. I feel like I can still see it. There we go. Now you never know. Okay, I got my liquid glue. And we're going to adhere these candles to the cake. We'll start with, I'm just going to arrange them. I just want to make this one piece. I don't want to have to fuss around with those. Oh, you know what? And we also have to consider that the center is a little different. That's something. This was how the candles would be centered, but it's going to be a little different centered because we're adding that slice in here. Over just a bit more. I think like that. So I'm going to add a little glue here. And since this is a liquid glue, we have some time to adjust it too. And add a little glue to my cake slice. Okay. Adjust these one more time. A little excess glue. I like to use my tweezers sometimes to scoop it out. Okay, adjust that cake slice a little. I'm gonna grab my original here to just look at. It's not that difficult. I'm just trying to, I'm overcomplicating it here, but I'm trying to be close to what I did originally. Oh, she's cute. And then our little strawberry. Now that I have to kind of, maybe I can glue it. We'll add a little bit of glue to the backside of that flower. Little there. That should be enough to hold it. And that strawberry really does kind of bring it all together. Ta-da! We have a whole cake. It's so cool. Love it. Such a simple little like hack, right? So fun. It'd be fun too to also make the cake slice again and then have one cut piece like here out under your cake would be fun. All right, now we're ready to finish this card up pretty much. The next thing we have to do is just stamp that sentiment. So I'm gonna change it up. I did wishing you the best, but I'm gonna do happy birthday. Let's make this a birthday card. But you can use whatever sentiment you want. I'm gonna grab my Misty, which still has my cling in it, so I've got to get that out of there. Oh, I didn't even clean it. Oh, bad Shannon. Let's do a quick clean. Hello, Charlene. How are you? Put that aside. And we need our foam back in here. Okay, and I don't like to adhere my stuff down until I've stamped my sentiment and know that it looks good. So we're gonna stamp our sentiment first. We'll use the magnet to just kind of hold the cake temporarily where we want it. Let's go over just here. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I could fuss and fuss sometimes with sentiments. I think that's good. Oh gosh, Charlene, I hear ya. Though I don't mind editing as much as I dislike voiceovers. The voiceover part is the part I hate the most. Editing, I can kind of like edit and listen to something. Voiceover, boy, you can only do that and it takes like 100 takes. Okay, I'm going to stamp this in the, just be consistent, the intensified black. Do one more time. Oh my gosh, that happy birthday is so pretty. I love that scripty font. Looks so elegant. All right, that's done. We'll toss that stamp aside. And we are ready to rock and roll with the last step. So get that out of there. Grab our cake. I'm going to pop it up with some foam adhesive. probably should put a little bit behind the candles. They're just so spindly. Let's see, I've got some 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, I agree, Charlene. I just like the creating part too. That's why I like lives. I don't have to edit or do voiceovers. And I'm just creating. And I think it's a little bit more genuine in the sense that, give me a little, and this is what I do when I edit, so I'm blaming myself. I'm calling myself out here. But when we edit our card videos, we cut a lot of the process out, a lot of the thinking, a lot of the mistakes, like when I stamped like these images to begin with, and I didn't think they stamped clean and crisp, so I stamped them again. All that would be cut out in the my panel was over there, my wet panel. All that would be cut out, and so these live videos, that doesn't get cut out. You see the real whole process, like the mistakes we make, and sometimes it takes us a little while to kind of figure out how the best way to use a product. And in the video, we're only showing you the best way. Typically, I typically cut out my mistakes, not because I don't want you guys to see them, just I don't want anybody getting confused. If I keep my mistakes in there, sometimes people think that's the right way to, they don't really understand that I'm showing you, don't do it this way, but it looks like I'm showing you to do it this way. All right. But sometimes I leave them in if I think it's clear. Cute. Okay, and then last thing I like to do, yes, you definitely learn from boo-boos. But in these lives, if I make a boo-boo, I can't edit it out. So you'll see it, and you'll have to see how I fix it. Yes, that's nice. I agree with you. It's nice to see that. And I think it's more, and people know, like, everybody's making mistakes all the time. Nobody's perfect. Rosie, you taught really well. What are you saying? I think you could choose to be either or both at the same time. All right, I'm going to take my gel pen, and I am not going to overthink this. I'm just going to add highlights to some of the petals, to the flower centers. The only thing that I worry about when I do my gel pen highlights is, will it actually be seen? If I do a highlight here in this like light yellow, you're not going to see it. So I'm not going to bother adding a highlight there. So wherever I'm going to add a highlight, I just want to make sure that the color is dark enough so I have enough contrast from the white that you'll see it. So I'm not probably going to even bother with these yellow flowers. The flower centers, yes. But like the flower petals, you're not going to see it. And I like to do the white gel pen highlight at the very end because I can do it and then set my card aside because I finished. There's no chance I'm going to mess it up because I'm done doing anything to it. I definitely am going to do the centers. I love doing the flower centers. So add a little highlight to all, well, several of the centers, especially any that are kind of rounded. A little bit on the bigger side, like that's too small. Here, this guy's nice and big. He gets a little one. And this one here. And then we'll just pick some of the, like the strawberries, because they're cute with little highlight. And I can't really, well, I'm not going to get, I did it on the first card, but I'm not going to do that strawberry. He's too hard to get to. Add it to some of the petals here. And these petals. And this part, if you don't like doing the gel pen highlights, definitely don't, you can just leave it out. You do not have to do it. I like how shiny it makes things look. Makes things look all shiny. And I think it hides a world of mistakes. Add a little bit to some of the leaves too. Oh, I added it to the yellow flower and I said I wouldn't. And I'm looking back at my original. I added it to that one yellow flower too. I'm nothing if not consistent. All right, I think we'll do a couple here on these rose petals. And I'm calling it done. Oh yeah, the little white adds just this like sparkly, almost sparkly look to it. Oh, I see, Rosie. Rosie was amazing. She helped me out at Create. She's so amazing, so wonderful. All right, that's the finished card. Put that aside. Okay, now on to our next one. We're back to our card number 2. We're going to move on to our panel. It should be dry. Mine's nice and dry, but again, I'm in Arizona. Oh, it's almost dry. I got a little wet right up here. Oh, look at how pretty it is. All right, I'm going to hit it up with the heat tool just a minute to dry it. But you can see all of this shiny metallic. But we got a couple wet spots. All right. That's nice and dry. A little warped, but once I glue it down to my card base, it'll be fine. Oh, Libby, you're cleaning your craft room? Oh my gosh. I should do that someday. It needs to happen sooner than the someday needs to come sooner than I'd like it to, because I'm desperately running out of space. Okay, so now we are going to color in all the negative space with black. Yee. I'm going to use a black Gonzai Tombi watercolor. So this is Gonzai Tombi watercolors here, my watercolor set. Oh, awesome. That'll be awesome. 30 years. Wonderful. I have it. No friends that I can say that I've had that long, which is sad. But that's wonderful for you and your friend. I have sisters that we're friends with for that long and longer, obviously. But though sometimes we do fight. I still haven't resettled all of the stuff from when I emptied it from the, oh, I get it. It's been a process. Cleaning craft rooms are a process. I know mine's going to be, I'm terrified of the can of worms that I'm going to open up when I start cleaning my craft room, because it's not just like a simple, it's got to be a deep clean, because I have no more room. So I'd have to deep clean, and it's going to take weeks. It's going to take weeks. That might sound insane, but that's really the truth. It would take me weeks to clean my craft room, which is my dining room. All right, so I just sprayed my water, or my Gonzai Tombi with water. This is the black. I'm gonna mix it. I have a thin, or a small, I should say, a fine. That's probably a better way to say it. A fine brush. What is this? 1. Now this is actually easier to do than you may think, thanks to that I'm gonna grab a piece of acetate here. Thanks to that heat embossing. I'm gonna place this down just to kind of protect my, this is gonna be really important for the, okay, I need to gather my thoughts here. So when we're doing the black Gonzai Tombi watercoloring, it's gonna be pretty easy to do because of the heat embossing will help you kind of prevent going into places where you don't want to go, like the confetti, or the balloons. That's what you want to try to avoid, is the confetti and the balloons. You want to keep those that beautiful color. You, of course, could leave it as is. This obviously is very, very pretty, but if you want to amp up the contrast, we're going to go in with that black and really pop it out. You're going to need a piece of acetate. I just pulled off the backing from this floral cake stamp set. This is just for something to put my hand on while I'm painting, so I can hold my card down and not pick up any of the spray that's down here. Also, more importantly, this is going to be something you really need when you start getting these areas painted with the black. The black is going to want to come off onto your fingers. So you want to definitely use something. Try to really avoid, once you watercolor with the black, even when it's dry, avoid touching it because it will come off on your fingers. I probably need, like, what would be ideal is like a spray, a fixative spray. Once you get this color, to spray it all over. Once you get it painted, to spray it all over with that. All right, so I'm just going to start painting here. Take my time. Just like with all coloring, it takes some time. It's pretty easy. And if you do, I got a little bit on the balloon and string here. Normally I wouldn't worry that much, but if you do get a little, I'm just gonna spray water down to my work surface. Since I have extra brushes, I'll just grab another brush. Keep my one that's loaded with black over here on the side and just kind of go over it with a clean brush with a little bit of water so it's a little damp. The brush bristles are a little damp. And just kind of clean it up. I might switch over to this brush. It's 00. And I'm kind of liking it. All right, and this will take some time. I use Distress Glaze on watercolor since fumes aggravate my asthma. Oh, Misty's, is the watercolor have fumes? I never noticed, but I mean, if you have asthma, I could see that you would notice things that I wouldn't. But the white heat embossing does repel. Like I'm getting a little bit here and there on the heat embossing, and it kind of repels it a little bit. But honestly, if you get a little bit of that black on there, no one's gonna notice. So don't stress. That's a nice thing about this design. You have a lot going on here. You have the balloon strings, you have the confetti. So a little black here and there on some of the heat embossing is really going to go unnoticed. And even if you missed, like didn't color all the negative areas, no one's going to notice that either. So I think it's the balloons, the part where when you go around the balloons, to be the most careful. I got a hair. Get out of there. Let's see if I can time myself. What do we got? 1:21. See how long it takes to do it. We're chugging along. And I'm getting it a little bit here and there on the heat embossing. I'll clean that up later. This is where I did a bad job over here. But I'll clean some of that spots up later. Coming together. It's so fun to see the design start to pop out. Okay, so what shows is everybody watching? Are there any series? I've just finished. We started watching. What's it called? Uncut? No. Royal Gems? I forgot it. What it's called. It's okay. We need a new series though, I think. We finished the. No, wait. We're watching the Jinx too, but that's coming out one episode at a time. So we're caught up, but we're not done with it yet because they need to release some more. So you're watching the Jinx 2 also? The new Jinx? What do we call it? Jinx 2? I don't even know what it's called. Dark Matter and Three Body Problem. Oh, my husband Charlene's watching the Three Body Problem. He likes that. Dark Matter. I don't know if I know that one. We're cruising along here. It's coming together. I need a little bit more water though. Every once in a while it gets a little too thick and it's not moving as easily. So you need a little bit more water. Yeah, marker water. The only thing we have with alcohol marker, it definitely could be probably a lot easier, is the coloring with your markers over the metallic spray worries me a little bit. I'm not sure what that would do to your markers. Might just mess up the nib. Wouldn't be the end of the world if you could replace the nib, but that's my only hesitation. I agree with you though. It would be a little bit easier. And I actually did do this. If I did this in black, that would make it even a slightly bit easier too. Right? Instead of doing white heat embossing, I should explain better. Instead of doing white heat embossing, if I had done black, either water resistant ink or black heat embossing, black embossing powder. But the only problem with that is that you'll lose all the balloon strings. So that's the only downside. And I wasn't totally perfect right there, that little confetti. No one's gonna know. Metallic might transfer to the marker. Yeah, see, Rosie, you and I are on the same page there. That's what I'm worried about. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But again, you saw how pretty it was before we did the black. You could just, and you know what? You can avoid probably doing a fair amount of the center because we will cover it up, but we're doing pretty good. It's been 5 minutes and we're probably almost halfway. So not too bad, really. I don't think too bad. You could always not do the painting part and just keep that beautiful spray. That's totally an option. A couple of spots I'm gonna have to clean up. I'll worry about that later. some things just take a little bit more time and care to get that look. And I knew I wanted one with a black background. But still see all those beautiful little strings. Luckily, there's so many balloons that there isn't as much black space. Just a bunch of little teeny sections, though. That's the downfall. Oops. How are we doing? Oh, thank you, Beth. It's coming along. Look, it's popping. Ooh, I love it. It's like changing. It's so fun to see it come together. Okay. But I have to admit, I'll tell you my guilty pleasure watching. Or my bad TV, my trash TV that I like to watch. I just finished Seeking Sister Wife. Does anybody watch that? I'm afraid to ask. That's my guilty pleasure. I never watched that season before. Well, I just started watching it, and drama. I would not recommend. I would not recommend that show if you don't have an interest. Stay away from it with a 10-foot pole. Because it is very much trash TV. We're getting there. I see the end coming. What is the best method to clean stencils, and is there a right or wrong side? Well, sometimes, Sid, it depends on the stencil. The only reason why I'd say there's a right and wrong side is the design that you're doing. The design, like if, let's say, the stencil set coordinates with a stamp set, then you definitely want to make sure you're using the stencil the designed way. But there's not really a, like, if you use it the wrong way, you're not going to mess up the stencil. It just might not all line up to the stamped image, or if there's layers, your layers won't line up. So a good rule of thumb is to look at the stencil and make sure there's usually some kind of written something on the stencil. It's hard to see because it's like cut into the stencil, so it's not printed usually. So look at the stencil and see if there's a label or anything, and if you can read it, then you know you have it the right way. If you can't read it, then you'll need to kind of turn your stencil around and flip it over so you can read it. For Hero Arts, we have our stencil label. We have Hero Arts in the lower right corner of our stencils, like our logo, and then on the left we would have this stencil skew, and then if it's a layering stencil, we'll have like whether it's stencil 1, 2, 3, that, and so forth. But sometimes it doesn't matter. If it's a single stencil, usually it doesn't really matter which side you use. And the best way to clean is, yes, I hear rubbing alcohol. That's a good way. I love our Hero Arts Ultra Clean, but we are out. That is my preferred way. So if I have Ultra Clean, I'll use that because that does a really good job of getting a lot of the inks that stain. You know how inks will stain your stamps? Well, they'll stain your stencils too a bit. Not as bad as your stamps, but they can stain your stencils a little bit. And the Ultra Clean does a great job of getting some of that off. But if we can't get Ultra Clean, rubbing alcohol works really well too, and that's what I use a lot of the time. Sometimes if you find that you used paste with your stencils, even when you clean it with water, sometimes that paste still will be on there. Now I need my acetate to kind of hold on to this so I don't touch any of the black, because even if the black's dry, it's going to come off onto my fingers. So the paste will, if you've used your stencil, if you use paste with your stencils, you might find that the color is sticking more, and that's just because you have a little bit of paste residue still on your stencils, and that can be hard to get off. It doesn't affect your stencil as long as it's not in like the holes of your stencil. And the best way I found to get that last final residue, usually I don't mess around. If I have a little bit of residue from my paste on my stencils, I'll just leave it on there. But if it's bothering me, I might take my palette knife and just kind of gently, my palette, it's not called a palette knife, is it? My Hero Arts palette. I guess it is a palette knife. Just kind of scrape the stencil clean a little bit. You have to be careful with some of those delicate stencils doing that. You don't want to flip up any of the edges too much. All right, we're almost done. So like 15 minutes, I'd say. Maybe close to 20 to be real fair. Woohoo! I'm gonna look at this and see if I even need to bother to clean my areas that I did was a little sloppy. It might not, you know, once you get it all done, it might not stand out to you as much as you once thought it did. So pretty. I just think I have this one messy area here. That's all I will clean. Cool. Oh, lots of good tips. I'm missing all the good tips in the chat on how to clean. Oh, yes, I love Hero Arts liquid watercolor, the neons especially. Yes, black watercolor would have been great. I don't have any. Me. If I had some black Hero Arts liquid watercolor, that would have been really nice for this, but I only have the Gonzai Tombi. But I think that would have been even easier. Okay, I'm gonna do a little cleanup, just spray some clean water down. Make sure my brush is fairly clean. Get some of that black off of there. Okay, I need some. Probably should have got a little cup of water. And I'm just going to do a tiny bit of cleanup. Get those areas that I want to clean, like pick it up. Just go over it with my slightly damp brush and then wipe off onto the towel. Pop out that string there. Now I can see a string. A little cleanup here. This is actually very easy to do and kind of becomes a little addicting. You start to go over and be like, oh, I'll clean up that little area too. I think I missed a little spot here. All right, and we'll go clean up this spot here, down here. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I hold up. Oh, good, Vicki. I'm glad you like it. So I got a little spot there. You can see where I was a little sloppy. So I'm going to show you how I can. That's the before. Now you see the after. Take some clean water. Okay, maybe. I'm suffering some very dirty water, but I refuse to really do anything about it. It's clean enough. And we're going to go over that. Just don't want it too wet. It needs to be just damp. Yeah, like 2 strings here. That's why it was so tricky. You can even pick up wherever there might be too much of that metallic spray. But that's so much better, much improved. I know, Charlene. It's kind of fun, though. I get kind of lost in those details. And yes, no one would see them. But like I said, this is actually, for me, maybe there's something wrong with me. Actually, there's definitely something wrong with me. But I do enjoy cleaning the heat embossing up a little bit with my brush. It's just very satisfying to me. All right, I'm going to call it Dunsies. I think that's good enough. Oh, so fun. All right, we're going to put that aside and create our sentiment real quick. The sentiment comes together pretty easy. We're going to use that congrats word die. That was a gift included in the kit. Pull mine out. It's in the premium kit. I already have some done, but I won't use them. I'll be good and not use them. I'll make them with you guys. It has a word die for congrats as well as a shadow layer. We're not actually going to use the shadow layer. We're just going to use the word die part. And we're going to cut out 2 congrats out of white cardstock and 1 congrats out of vellum. Okay. Let's grab my cardstock here. Can't pick anything out. Vellum. I cannot pick this up. The gifts were so fun. Wasn't that a fun thing, fun surprise in the kits? I love them. Okay, we're gonna start with that. Did we cut all the way through? I'm not sure. So I'm gonna cut around it so I can go a different angle and cut it again. Sometimes it just takes a couple passes through. Sorry, I bumped the camera, sorry. There we go, that cut through. And it's just changed the direction of the way your dye is being fed into your die cutting machine. Really does help to cut it through. And like I said, I'm using a die machine that doesn't have a lot of pressure. So mine probably going to take a couple more passes. And it still didn't quite cut through, I think. Here. I might have to switch out to my spellbinder. Probably should have had that to begin with. It's pretty much my go-to for most of the time. All right, we'll switch out to the spellbinder. So I will have to get up because it's not within reach. I just don't want to fuss around with this. This will be my back, my back congrats, since it didn't cut out perfectly. All right, let me grab that. Oh, and I have to go through my web of cords. All right. Now we're ready. Now we're rocking and rolling. Oh, my spellbinders is very squeaky though. Apologize. Apologize in advance. It's going to be very squeaky. Oh, it's so bad. That's why I don't use it. I forgot. Oh gosh, it's so squeaky. You did too good of a job. Rosie, is anybody still there after that? That was so bad. And it's the handle. It's not like the rollers. It's the handle. And I think it's like the plastic part. I'm not sure how to make it better is what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to fix it. It's just squeaky. All right, we're on to the congrats. Sorry, one more time through. Your dog is perked up, I bet. It is screaming at me. Oh, don't be so loud this time. Show them you can be quiet sometimes. Oh, see, now it's so, no, take it back. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's terrible. Did we cut all the way through? Please say we did so I don't have to go back through my machine. Oh, I don't think we cut all the way through. Sorry, guys. One more time. Hover your ears. Yikes, so bad. I should contact spellbinders. Like, please, what is wrong with it? Why is it squeaky? It's not the rollers, too. It's not like, that's what I always thought it was the rollers, but then my daughter somehow figured out it was the handle, and I was like, you're right, it is the handle. And it's like the handle, not this part here. This round part. Like if I could get it to stop turning when I crank it, it'd be fine. Okay. I should put W. I know, I need to get W for it. That's what someone told me before too, and I need to give it a go. It's just, it sounds worse than it ever did. All right. Whew. There's our vellum. Congrats, cut out. So we got our 2 white ones, our vellum one. We're going to stack this up for some dimension and for a little shadow. So I played around. Actually, I think I have one die cut so I can show you. So here's the one. So this is what it looks all stacked up with the shadow layer cut out of vellum. And though I like it, that doesn't look bad or anything, I just felt like it was covering up so much of my background. I didn't like how much I felt like it was covering up my background. So that's why I opted to do a shadow, do a 1 layer out of vellum, and we're just going to offset it just a bit. Just put it to the side. So it kind of creates this smaller shadowed dimension look that doesn't take away as much from the background. It is down the street from me, Rosie. Well, I mean, it's about an hour away, but it's close enough that I could go there. In fact, I've been there. I should have brought my machine and been like, fix this for me, diagnose it, or figure out what's wrong. I'm going to take my liquid glue and adhere my 2 white layers, my 2 white congrats together. We're just doing this to stack it. I just like the way it looks. Oops. Ah, not on that. It's fine. I got a little aggressive with the glue. Started gluing my second one. Nope, this one goes on top. And these just get stacked right on top of each other. One on top of the other. No offset. Oh, no, I just need to, yeah, I need to fix it. I forgot how bad it was. All right, for the vellum, I want the vellum to be poking out on the left side. So I'm just going to add, well, I'll just add adhesive to, I'll just add it to the backs. And if we have a little too much, oh well. Well, it'll just be on our tabletop or on our fingers. So just be mindful of that. But there's no good way to, you can kind of guesstimate, but do I want to go up? I'm going to go up 2. I'm going to go put my sentiment up and over to the right. So I have a little shadow below. It's just cool. It looks so cool. So easy to do. That's what I have, Rosie. I'm actually using the Hero Arts vellum. And that's exactly what I'm using. It is so thick. And look at how cool that looks. So neat. That looks cool. I really like the way that looks. All right. And now we can actually add some foam adhesive to the backside if you want. Pop it up more, right? Because we have a problem. We love dimension. I'm using this 1/8 of an inch foam adhesive. Just add a couple pieces to the back. Make sure it's going behind the white part and not the vellum. I should say it's going to go on the vellum, but you only want it behind where it's white. So let's see. Like, I don't want to put any foam adhesive here. Obviously, you'll see it. So wherever you can see the white cardstock, that's where the vellum's going to go. I mean, foam adhesive. Sorry. Geez, I hope that was confusing. I apologize. Hopefully you can sort it out. A little piece there. Not every place needs to have foam adhesive, just a little bit here and there so it's supported. I like to do bigger pieces on the straight parts because it's just so easy. And then begrudgingly we'll put smaller pieces on some of the other parts if I feel like it needs more support. Like this S has a pretty straight part, so I can put a nice, fairly big size piece there. And then I'll cut a couple of smaller pieces on the ends of the S. And I think that'll be done. Okay. So that's the foam adhesive. Now we got to do our sub-sentiment, which we're going to need that floral cake stamp set again. Question is, where is it? Here it is. I'm going to use the Wishing You the Best. Grab some black cardstock. I gotta stand up to get mine. Just out of reach. Oh, I'm glad you like that. Congrats. Yeah, it's just a fun, different way. One good way to kind of keep in your toolbox of ideas or your tool belt of ideas of how to add a shadow layer, add a shadow to your sentiment when it doesn't have a shadow die, that larger die that goes like outlines it. But also, if you feel like it's just too much, that shadow layer is too much, too big, taking away too much, you can do that offset vellum layer to just help that sentiment pop from the background, but in a slightly more subtle way. All right, we're gonna heat emboss this. So I'm gonna add some anti-static powder. If I can figure out where it is, here it is. And then again, I'm gonna use that pigment ink because I really like to heat emboss with it. Oh no, I just had a realization. I'm gonna have to die cut this out. I have one more die cut I have to do. No. I think that's probably, we'll do one more time. I don't know why, just to be extra sure. It's got plenty of the white embossing, or plenty of that white ink down. Okay, now we'll grab the white embossing powder. Perfect, I'll heat set with my heat tool. Gonna be a little noisy. That looks so good. It's so clean and crisp with that white pigment ink. I love it for heat embossing. Okay, now I'm gonna grab the coordinating dies. Problem is, I'm not sure where they went. Sorry, I touched the cord. Oh, it's out of reach. Oh, okay. And love that this die set has the matching dies for the sentiment. So good. Grab a couple pieces of tape to hold this down. One tip I have for this sentiment when I die cut this out, when you're die cutting, especially when it's something long and narrow like this sentiment is, instead of feeding it into your die cutting machine, like here's the face of your die cutting machine, instead of feeding it in that way, it'd be much better to feed it in this way into your machine. You'll have a much better cut that way. And that's because it kind of breaks up, it will break up where it's pushing. If it's pushing, if you feed it in this way, it's all, the rollers are all gonna push down right along this edge. And that has a tendency, all that pressure on such a long, like such a large surface area of this die does sometimes cause it to shift. So when you do it this way, you're only putting surface pressure on this small point here. And you're gonna get a better cut and like it's going to actually cut better, and it'll also not shift, be less likely to shift on you. I forgot to warn you. I'm in finishing mode here. How are we doing on time? Well, we started at 2 hours. That's totally what I expected. For 2 cards with lots of coloring. There we go. There's our sentiment all die cut out. I know, it's so bad, Charlene. I'm so embarrassed by it. Oh gosh. I realized as soon as I started turning it, I'm like, oh no, they're all gonna know now. They're all gonna know what my die cutting machine sounds like. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna adhere this down. Now, just a quick reminder, this paint, this black, wants to get all over you. So be very careful. When I push this down, I'm actually gonna grab a plate from my die cutting machine to hold it down so I don't actually touch this, because that black watercolor will get on my hands and I don't want it, because then I'll end up getting it on my white. Congrats, sentiment. Ask me how I know, because I've done it before. If I had like a fixative spray, I would spray it because I'm all done painting it, but I don't have any. Yes, the secrets. Our craft room. I'm trying to think of a better word for secrets. Behind the scenes. All right, that turned out pretty good. I'm really trying to avoid touching it. See, I got black on my hands already. Gotta wipe it off. All right, time to adhere. Actually, let's do what we'll do right now. Is that black paint on there? No. I'm gonna use my sand eraser. I'm so afraid of my fingers being dirty, so I'm gonna try to not touch my white cardstock if I can help it. So here's the original. Let's see what we did here. We did it here. I want it here instead. I'll just do it where I did it before. I don't want to think that hard. Put a little bit of glue down. Hold it here for just a second while that glue sets up. Ah. You hold it for a little bit longer, apparently. Okay, that looks good. Question, will your recipient get black on their hands? Yes, Sandra. If they touch the card front, they will. That's why I need a fixative spray of some sort. You probably could use hairspray. You probably could get away with that if you have some. If you don't have like a fixative spray, you could probably get away with some hairspray. We just need something to set it. If they're touching like I can show you, I'll demo here. I'll touch a plot spot. Do you see how I got black on my finger? Yes, Brenda says, yeah, like hairspray is like a fixative like Aquanet. Exactly, that would work. Thank you for confirming that. I thought so. Actually, I do have hairspray, but I have to really walk away from here to go get it. have to stand up. I can't get it straight if I'm not standing. Cute. She's done. Look at how fun they look. I love how they're reverse. It's so pretty. Oh gosh, the cheaper the hairspray, the better. Well, I definitely have cheap hairspray. I'll have to give it a spray. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you. I'm more likely to have fixative spray than hairspray. I feel like I should have fixative spray, but I don't. Terrible. I'm a terrible fool. I had it back in the day when I was in college. I don't have it anymore. Now I have hairspray. All right, that's it. That's the 2 cards. I love it. I love that. I love how I accidentally did them a little bit different. I mean, it's still in the right order, but I started with the blue up here instead of down here. So fun. Too cute. These are really pretty. I'll put them aside. All right, I know what you've all been waiting for, to look at the new Hero Studio subscription program. Let me figure out, here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you guys. So if you haven't gone to our page, I definitely encourage you to go to the, I'll put it like this, so you can't really tell yet. If you haven't gone to our Hero Arts subscription page, I encourage you to go there to get more info and really get all. There is a Q&A page where you can get your questions, answer a lot of questions you might have, especially if you're currently subscribed to our My Monthly Hero. You can definitely get a lot of your questions answered there. If you're new to our Hero, My Monthly Hero, which would be surprising since most of you guys are, if you're here for the make along, which features the My Monthly Hero kits. But if you happen to be new, the subscription page will also outline all the different subscription options that will now be part of our new Hero Studio. So Hero Studio is our new reimagined My Monthly Hero subscription program. And we, for our 50th anniversary, wanted to kind of have more options for you guys, just more choices, and which is going to mean a lot more products for each release, which I'm always so excited about. So what we're going to look at today is just all the new subscriptions. Starting, there's going to be 5 total. The card kit of the month. Then there is a clear stamp set of the month, which has coordinating dies. Then there is the fancy die of the month, cling of the month, and the last one is the whole Hero Studio. So all of these 4 earlier subscriptions all in one. Yeah, everyone's gonna be floored. Charlene, of course, incredible creator on our creative team. She knows, Rosie knows, yes. So they've seen all the new products for it, and it's really awesome. So the first thing I'm going to show you is, I think, the closest equivalent to the My Monthly Hero kits, which is the Hero Studio card kit. So this is the June Hero Studio card kit. Can you get a kit without being, yes, Rose, you can get a kit without doing the monthly subscription, or there's also like a six-month subscription plan too, but you can still get the kit. It'll be a little bit more expensive that way, and you may not, it could be like, it could go out of stock very quickly on release day. So that's only the downfall of not doing a subscription. If you do a subscription, you're getting a little discount, and you're guaranteed to get the kit, and there's free shipping. Okay, so let me pull this out. So in this month's kit, you have some beautiful, I mean, look at that. Whoa, some beautiful papers. I'll pull those out real quick, just to real quick show you, because this paper is so pretty. You get some of our, so a couple really pretty silver and glitter silver cardstocks. So kind of a matte. This one's not super shiny, not like mirrored. Nice, a little bit matte, which I like a little bit better. And then the super really fun, almost like disco ball paper. Then a couple infamous pitch black cardstock, so you can never not have enough of these for sure. The black is the best. Black out there, the most darkest black. Put that aside. There's some inks as well included in the kit. These are from our core line, so not new colors, but you get minis included in the kit. Stonewash, dusty blue, amethyst, and peony. There's also a pitch black mini, but I don't have it, so there's 5 inks in total. Just imagine one more here that's pitch black. And the first stamp set I'm going to show you is a Heroescape. I need some white cardstock though. I had a piece. Where'd it go? Here's to kind of help you see it. Look at that beautiful, beautiful Heroescape. You have this beautiful kind of 2-step sky, some fun the whole theme of this month is urban textures. So there's a lot of really cool textures in this kit. I think they're so fun. I love them. Great for making more kind of masculine themed cards, which is always a harder one to design for. But you have this cute like power line with these animals, a squirrel for Lydia. We have some birds, the telephone pole lines. I guess that's what you call it. Some really great sentiments. Sending love, friend, hello. I really like how they are very clean and bold. Thank you, greetings. And there are coordinating dies. So this is a kit. Again, this is all in the kit. I should put everything on screen and keep it all on screen. So we have our papers. This is the June Hero Studio card kit. Papers. The Heroescape set. Here's the coordinating dies for the Heroescape set. So you have dies for all of the animals, power line, and all the sentiments. Thank you. Charlene put all of the kit options on in the message. Thank you. And then there's the inks. This is the June card kit. So also, in addition to this clear set, you have another clear set. This is the message clear set. I have another piece of paper here. Yikes. Things are falling. There we go. That cord. Okay. We have this message clear set. Lots of great messages in this set. I love the way they look. We got city lights, starry nights, and endless sights. Come visit sometime. You have this cute little car. Another little car here. You have this really sweet little neighborhood scene. You can even like build a whole little scene. And there's like a sun, clouds, a bus, birds, even a little like bench, single house. And then again, some more sentiments. Welcome to the hustle and bustle. I thought that was fun. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to our home. Streets of possibilities. See you around. I love this one. I'm just a phone call away. That would work great for the power lines. Wish you were here. Drop by anytime. My door is always open and hope to see you soon. Very, very sweet. Really great sentiments. The fonts are great, right? Yes. YOLO. The YOLO kit. You only live once. And let's see. And that's not all. So I mean like 2, and this is a large clear. 6x8. This is a 4x6. Coordinating dies for that. Some beautiful papers, inks. But in addition to all this, there is a stencil included in this kit. I'm going to try to pull it out here. Drop by anytime, but call first. Oh my gosh. I could not have the drop by anytime. You'd have to definitely call. You need to call first a week in advance so I have time to clean my house. Are there dies for the set? No, there's no dies for this set. No dies for this one. There's only dies for the Heroescape set, this large 6x8 set. And then here is the stencil. So it's like a cityscape. Maybe if I put black, it'd be even better than white, I think. We'll use my magnetic thing. So there it is. And there's also it comes with, let me turn it the right way, masks kind of for the inside. Really, these are stencils for the windows for each one of these cityscapes. So you can layer this to build up, to make it really have some perspective. Yeah, Misty, I like that. Yep, we could make an appointment, but exactly. And now let me show you some cards. So that's everything. Oh, and there's transfers, which I don't have. There's one more thing. Gosh, I'm having a hard time fitting everything on here. There's one more thing that would be included, which is transfers, but I don't have. So that would be everything with the transfers in the June Hero Studio card kit of the month. Let me show you a couple cards made with the card kit. Ah, I'm so sorry. Keep bumping that cord. Here's one card that I created, and I shared this with the countdown. So that sky was created with this stamp set. It's like a rub-on. Yes, Misty, it's a rub-on. Yeah, I don't have it to show you. I can put it on screen in just a minute so you can see the whole kit. And then there is, and you can see that I used the power lines stamp here just in black, and the birds. The sentiment is from this set here, using the coordinating dies to die cut it out. And then you can see my city that I used the stencil for to kind of build. Really easy card. Basically one layer, except for the popped up sentiment. So it's basically a one layer card. Then if we are in the premium kit, is there an additional element this month? So a premium kit, if you are a premium kit if you subscribed already to our premium kit from before and you're still subscribed for June, you will get a special surprise. I don't think they've announced it yet. I know what it is. It's really awesome, but you will get another surprise if you were a premium kit subscriber. I hope that makes sense, Vicki. Please let me know if I didn't explain it well, if it didn't make sense. Here's another card I created. This one features the message set. So I just used the images and kind of created a little kind of like tone-on-tone scene, and then stamped it on white and Copic colored it, and then used a sentiment from that set. I did fussy cut this sentiment out, but that's another little card I made. And then lastly, this one will be a video on Tuesday for this card. So I use the inks included in the kit to create the background. I walk you through that. I'll also show you how to do these yellow windows on a dark skyline. Show you a good trick for stamping and die cutting these birds on the power line. Are them dies for the message? No, there are no dies, Misty, for the message set. I fussy cut this out. The dies are only for this set here, and these sentiments in this set. So there are dies for these sentiments, not for this one. So I did this one. This one sentiment set is from the message set, and I did fussy cut it out as well. But I do have a video coming out for this, so you will see that on Tuesday if you want to know better how I created this one. But this is a good video to watch out for because I do share a lot of tips, especially with this Heroescape set. Okay, so that's everything. Those are all my cards for the June Hero Studio card kit of the month. Now I'm going to show you the other mini kits kind of in June that were coming out. So these are all part of the new Hero Studio. And remember we said before there's the card kit Then there's the clear, then the fancy dye, then the stencil, and then clean. Those are all the different subscriptions. So that was the card kit of the month. Let me get it out of the way. Next, I'm going to show you the clear, the June clear of the month. Let's see if I can put these. And where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. Sorry, I'm having a hard time grabbing it out of here. And you know, I need all that paper again. Where did it go? So you can see it better. So this is the June clear of the month. I think it's called Flappy Day. I can't remember all the sets, but really cute little pigeon set. This one's a really fun one because you can kind of do two looks. You can do a, what do you call that? A bird bath, or you can do a mailbox. And I'll show you that in just a second here. And there's coordinating dies. So these are the coordinating dies for that set. So it's kind of it's a bundle. It really is like a clear bundle of the month. And I did stamp out them all so you can see them. So here's what that ground looks like if you stamp it on A2. But Flappy Mail, thank you, Charlene. That is the thing I forgot to write down, is the names of all the sets. But then here's that bird bath. So you can create a scene with the pigeons. You can even incorporate this. You can use that sky from the Heroescape set included in the card kit of the month to maybe add a background. And then it could say, we got hello there, happy birthday. How about this one? Have a flappy day. Cute. Have stay cool. And we got You've Got Mail, best movie ever, and sending a little peck. Cute. Let's move these down. And let me show you. So you might notice there's a mailbox. You can turn this in the mailbox. So if you stamp the bird bath, you cut the top off, use that handy white gel pen technique that I showed you today with the cake. Kind of clean up any remaining black. And then you can make a mailbox. And I have a pigeon with mail. And you even have little envelopes. And then you can say, you've got mail. Isn't that fun? Yeah, the grounding stamp is really nice, right? It really builds the scene. Look how quickly that came together with the images. 2 different scenes, 2 different themes, too. So really cool set. So this, again, is the June clear stamp of the month. And it does come with dies, even though that's why I feel like bundle might be a better name, but just emphasize that. That's the dies. Chuck all these in there. Yes, and tomorrow you'll see everything. We'll have pictures on the, they'll go live, all the, with more samples and more details, because they'll actually go up on our website. So you'll be able to see more info there tomorrow. Today, it's like a little bit more than a sneak peek because you're really seeing the products and some cards, but all the info isn't up yet. But you can purchase. If you see something you love and you want, you're getting kind of the inside scoop, you could purchase the subscription and kind of secure it before maybe it sells out, if you're not a subscriber already. Okay, so now that was now we're going to go into the June fancy die of the month. I do have my card to show too. So this is the June fancy die of the month. It's a window. Isn't that so fun? You can never have enough windows, right? They're so great for so many scenes. This would look great with that sky from the Heroscape again in the background. There's branches that are included on the die. And there's also 3 little smaller dies. You have a stack of books, a bird, and this potted plant. So really cute for building a little scene. It's a little bit smaller than an A2, which I love. I wouldn't want it to be bigger, to be honest. You can see how you have a nice frame. And I did die cut it out. Oh, thank you, Charlene. Your card was beautiful too. So here is what it looks like when you die cut it out of an A2 panel. So you can see it doesn't cut all the way to the edge, which, or doesn't cut around the wood part, which again, I really like because it just makes it neater and tidier, and you have a smaller background that you have to like stamp or ink blend or whatever. It just makes it really nice. It's very cool frame, right? I love it. And then I did die cut out the book and everything else. So you have our plant, you have your stack of books, and I was gonna say, where's the bird? And your little birdie that you can add onto the tree if you want. And I do have my card that I can show you too. So here you can see I did combine it with the background stamped with the Heroscape included in the June card kit of the month. I die cut the branches. Well, actually, I die cut 2 of these and cut the branches out and just built up my branches a little bit more. And the reason why the sky is softened is I did put a vellum layer down. And then just Copic colored, alcohol colored, the branches, the books, the pot. So really fun. And that sentiment, Hello Neighbor, is from the message set, again, a part of the June card kit of the month. So super fun. I love this window. I can see myself using this a ton, especially with Heroscapes. It works so well with Heroscapes. There is no video for this one, Vicky. I didn't make a video. It did not. I might. No, maybe I'll do it for the spotlight, which is on Tuesday as well. Okay, so that was the June fancy die of the month. Let's get that out of the way. So we've shown you 3 kits so far: the card kit, the clear stamp, the fancy die. Now we're going to move on to the stencil, so the June stencil of the month. And I don't have this in the packaging, so it doesn't look pretty, but I do have a finished card to show you at least. So the June stencil of the month is a layering stencil set. There's 4 stencils in all, and it creates this really awesome layered, like, neighborhood, or I don't know how else to describe it. I guess it's kind of city. It seems more neighborhood to me. So you've got layer 1, 2, 3, so that could do all these houses in different colors. So like 3 different colors for the houses. And then the last layer 4 is going to be your roofs and windows. So that's the stencil set. I do have a card for this one. Okay, Charlene, we'll do that. We haven't quite figured out, Vicky brought us up in today's live, that we haven't quite figured out the make-alongs for the Hero Studio, because we usually do it just on the card kit. Maybe we need to do one with some of the other subscriptions. Okay, where's my card? Oh no, where did it go? Is it over here? Oh, here it is. And here's my card. So I did I think I did key lime, green apple, pool party for the buildings. And then the roofs, I did like a darker, I think it was aquatic for the roofs, a darker blue. And I like how where they're over some of the greens, it looks more teal. I like that different look. And then I did that again, the messages, set that was in the June card kit. I did stamp that out. Again, clearly I love that neighborhood image, colored it, and made a sentiment from that set as well to finish it off. But I love Sika's card she did with this set. She really knocked out of the park. I like hers much better than mine. And she'll be sharing that tomorrow, I'm sure. We need make-alongs with all the subscriptions, Vicky says. I love doing them when I actually have the products. Yes, that makes sense. The class goes on my calendar. Oh, that's awesome, Vicky. I'm so glad that they're good. That works out well for you. I enjoy doing them too. Maybe I'll elbow some people and see if that's okay. All right, so we did that one. Oh, the last kit is a cling. So we have a cling of the month. This one right here. This beautiful circular, like radiating circles, but they're not like perfect. Oh, it's out. Charlene says it's out. So Sika's card is already out. So go to our Hero Arts blog or Instagram to see Sika's card. She did a beautiful job. And she framed it up with a arch die. Loved it. It's so pretty. She knocked it out of the park. So here is the cling. I love this radiating circle. I love how it's not like perfect circles. I just think that's such a cool texture. Again, this is released for me because I love all the textures. It does look like tree rings, right? It does look like tree rings. And it totally could be used that way. Absolutely. Really, really pretty. And I have and I stamped it out so you could see. The background stamps are the best, Vicky, right? Oh yeah, and Rosie's cling is, or Rosie's stamp, or bleh, Rosie's card with this cling is so beautiful. She's got it. She shared, I think it came out yesterday. Beautiful rainbow card with this. So definitely check out Rosie's. Again, you can go to Rosie's Instagram or to Hero Arts blog or Instagram to see all the sneak peeks, all the cards featuring all of these kits for the new June Hero Studio subscription. Yes, her card's so pretty. So here's what it looks like stamped out. Look at how cool that is. I won't move it around too much because it's giving me that like dizzying sensation, but isn't that cool? I love it. Sika's Instagram. Hers is so hard for me to remember because it isn't her name. Is it no. What? Is it Pocket Full of Sunshine? Rosie, help me, please. My brain is broken. And let me show you my card that I made with this cling. Rosie talking about her card she did rainbow reactive inks and water. Oh, so simple and impactful. Nice. I didn't know you used what paper. Thank you, Charlene. Paper. I always get it confused with the Pocket Full of Sunshine. Sky, paper, scissors. That's Sika's. Thank you. And here's a card I created with the cling. Very different. I know, really kind of played around with a different way to use a cling background set, especially one that's so got such a great texture. So I stamped it onto just like this, black, ink blended over it, and then die cut it with Hero Arts Infinity circle dies, several of them out of the panel. And then I then took a white gel pen, which I kind of wish I didn't do, but I did it, so I'm telling you. I took a white gel pen and kind of colored in some of the I guess stripes or rings, really rings. But I only did it once I die cut it out, so I didn't have as much to color. And just kind of broke it up a little bit, add a little more interest, I think. It's kind of fun. They're all popped up. It's fun. It's interesting how once you take it out of this to this context, it has a tiger stripe kind of look. Oh, you like the white. Okay, thanks, Libby. Sometimes I don't know. Like, I did it, and I didn't see it, like a before and after. I'm like, do I like the white? I don't know. That would be neat for Easter. Oh, that would be fun for Easter eggs. Yeah, I love that. Or Christmas ornaments. Oh, my gosh, I really love it for Christmas ornaments. And if you go along with the hop and leave a comment, you can – oh, yes, Charlene's talking about the hop, block hop tomorrow. Oh, wait. The hop for the countdown. Yes, definitely check out the countdown. And tomorrow we'll have a blog hop for the release. And yes, water ripples, Vicky. I didn't think of that, but yeah. So just a different way, different take on how to use a cling, which I think is fun sometimes to see it a different way. All right, either one, Charlene Sting, either one. So the one today we have, so the countdown was started Friday, Saturday, today's the last day, the third and final day of the countdown. So check that out. There's lots of inspiration for all of the Hero Studio kits. This was the last one, was the cling. So I did all 5 card kit, clear, fancy die, stencil, cling. Yeah, but I showed you all 5. The last kit I can't really show you. It's everything. So the last kit is the whole studio, which is the cling, the clear stamps of the floppy day, the layering stencils, the what else? The fancy die. So all of these, that's the whole studio. All of these. I'm gonna take this. I gotta do it a different way because you can't see the set. I'm going to have a big mess to clean up. So all of this, these kits, including the card kit, which, where's my stack? Ooh. Which was those papers, the heroes, the inks, the papers. That's not one of them. Including this gorgeous one. I love that one so much. The city stencils, that's part of the June card kit. The message set, which I used a ton of, apparently I loved. And the Heroscape with the coordinating dice. That's all part of the June card kit. So if you get the whole studio, this is what you're getting, all of this. And if that wasn't enough, there's actually and the transfers, which I need to show you. If that wasn't enough, there's also extras, which I won't show you today because this is overwhelming enough as it is. But tomorrow, all this will be released. You can still purchase any of this right now. You can go to and subscribe. But tomorrow you can get just one of these if you want. But we also have extraordinary extras. So even some more additional products that are in the same theme as this urban texture theme. There's some really great ones. I cannot wait for you guys to see them tomorrow. And I will be doing another live. You know what? Let's switch over here. Let's switch these around. And there we go. I will be doing another live Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. It's our spotlight. It's already up on our, is it? No, it's not. I have to put it up. I'll put it up as soon as this live is over. I'll put up so you can, get the notification. But we have a spotlight on all of this. So we'll go over some more samples, also share all the extras. So we have that spotlight coming. You guys are just getting like the sneak peek here because I like it because you come to my make-alongs. And it's nice to see them. Rosie says, I still need to play with all the extras. Yes, the extras I didn't share with you, so there's even more than this. As I bump my camera, I told you my hands. And those will be coming out tomorrow. You can see those too, so pay attention to that. So definitely check out our blog hub tomorrow with our release. You'll see all, and go to our website, you'll see all the products. If you have any questions about our subscription, our new Hero Studio, definitely check out our website. We have subscription at the top. You can click on that. That really does a great job of breaking it down. There's also a question page where you can click on and get info there too. And let me think. Anything else? Oh, and don't forget about my Spotlight Live on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. I will put it up on YouTube as soon as this live is over, so you can click on that, get notified for that, and that will go over everything. So thank you guys so much for this extra long make-along where we got to make 2 cards. I think these cards are missing. Well, we made this one. Oh, yeah. And this one with our May kit. So fun. And also staying and watching. Oh, and I'll show you real quick. You're still here. All of the, thank you, Charlene. All of the June kits coming tomorrow. And real quick, I'll put up this graphic so you can see the transfers there. You can see in the upper right of this graphic, you can see the transfers that are also included. And I also broke down all of the contents of the June Hero Studio card kit of the month. So hopefully that's helpful as well. You can see the HeroScape, the coordinating dies, the 5 inks, the transfers, those beautiful papers, the message set, and the stencils. Oops. I just noticed a mistake I need to make. I gotta correct it. I gotta correct the graphic. Wah! Okay, let's remove this. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I will definitely probably see you guys. And then next, yeah, the transfers are great for mixed media, aren't they, Libby? I know. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I will definitely see you around on the blog hops and Instagram tomorrow for our release. And if not then, hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday for the spotlight. I need to go up losing my mind. All right, bye, everyone. Thank you so much. See you again soon.